Okay, it appears that my microphone is working this time. Fantastic. So it appears that once again I've made a blunder and I recorded a 15-minute video and there's no audio, so I have to retell this story. Started work and I didn't have a lot much work going on, but I got one job that's a little bit different than what I usually do. I was going to go and take a look at a safe that someone was wanting to sell us. Something that we do sometimes, and lately we've been doing a little bit more. I haven't been the lead before, so this is going to be my first time going out and looking and seeing for myself if I deemed this safe worth purchasing for us to resell. Anyway, I went about my day and I didn't have a lot going on, but then things seemed to pile up in the afternoon, and it got to be about 3 o'clock and I was heading to another job. And originally I was supposed to go to take a look at this safe at about 4. And I knew the second I got to the job prior, I was going to be late. So I gave the guy a call at like 3:30 and no answer. So I left a message saying, hey, I'm so-and-so, supposed to be coming out to take a look at this safe. Can you give me a call back and let me know if it's okay that I'm a little late, or let me know what's going on and I'll coordinate with you accordingly to the time that's at hand. Anyway, I didn't get a call back. I finished my job. I didn't get a call back, so I assumed it was off. I don't know, maybe that's my mistake, but I went home and it was about 4:30 or so. So I was home a little early, about 4:30. And I finally got a call. Get a call at like 4:45. I'm at home, I'm chilling. My day is done, basically, or at least I thought so. So I answer the call. And when I answer it, I say, hello. And I hear who is this? I go, oh, my name's Cameron. I'm with so-and-so company. I'm supposed to be coming out to look at a safe, or at least I was. I left you a message. I didn't get a call back. He's like, oh, why didn't you show up? You're supposed to come at 4. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I left a message to let you know that this and this happened. I was kind of waiting for a call back to confirm. He's like, oh, just please come right away. Can you come before 5? 4:45. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I can head out now. I'll be there in about 10 minutes. And he's like, I didn't see your call. I'm a busy man. I have a lot going on. I'm a busy man. Okay, that's fine. He's like, but please hurry. I need you here quick. It's like, I really need the money. Alrighty, I'll be there soon. Mind you, that morning rather, when I was told about this safe and that I'd be going to check it out and everything, my manager gave me a $20 bill and he said, no more than 20 bucks. That's the budget for this. I'm like, okay, so clearly this safe isn't worth much, or at least we're not planning on being able to sell it for a whole lot. And he told me that the dimensions were like 2 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet. So like a small cube, like the size of a large microwave, basically. It's like, okay. Anyway, I go, crap. Tell my wife, hey, gotta head back out to this one job. And I told her, I was like, I already know this guy's a goof. She's like, what do you mean? I was like, I'll tell you when I'm back. Or as I'm pulling down the street towards the house is on the corner. As I'm pulling up, there's this guy sitting in like a mobility kind of, it's not a wheelchair, it's like a walker, I guess you'd call it. And it's one of those ones that you can like turn around and sit on like a chair. It's got the handle around the back. He's chilling in a walker at the curb. And I pull into the driveway beside the guy and I'm like, oh, this is probably my guy. And I get out and I'm like, hey, and mind you, weather's been really weird lately. So earlier in the day, it was pretty nice. When I got this call, it started like flurries and kind of mini spitting, yucky rain from the side. Terrible weather for this time. And this guy's like sitting out in the world waiting for me to come. So I kind of felt bad for him, but I'm like, you kind of put yourself in this situation, man. I called you. So I get out and I go over and I talk to him. I'm like, hey, I'm Cameron. What's going on? It's like, oh, hey. So what can you give me for this thing? There's no safe near him. I'm like, I gotta look at the safe first, dude. And he goes, oh, yeah, it's around the side. Go up the driveway and around the side path, and it's It's just beside the garage door, like man door. Okay. And I'm like, does it open? Like, is there a code? And he's like, oh. He rummages through this little bag and he hands me this old dirty slip. Take it. I'm like, thank you. And I go over. And as I'm walking down the driveway along towards where he told me this safe was, I'm looking around as I'm walking. There are 3 cars in the driveway, mine included. I pulled into the very end of the driveway and there was a van ahead of mine, and then ahead of that was like a Jeep. As I'm walking by the van, his van, I just noticed that all of the windows you can see through are just, like, this van is full of stuff, like boxes and things and items. And as you walk past the front of the vehicle and you look in through the windshield, you can see the whole dash and everything is covered in like plates and food garbage and just all sorts of stuff. There's just a small window where you can see out on the driver's side, and the driver's seat was the least cluttered, but there was still a lot of crap on it. So I'm like, okay. And then I walk past this Jeep and it's the same thing, full of crap, but this Jeep is full. There's no getting in that car and driving it as is. It is full of stuff. And I'm like, all right. As I keep walking down the side path is just cluttered with things like an old fridge, 3 bicycles, a couple scooters, and a microwave, and a couple other things, and an oven. All right. And parked amongst those things beside this man door of the garage is the safe I'm supposed to be looking at. At least it was the only safe I saw. So I crouch down and I'm looking at it, and this safe has clearly been sitting outside in the elements for at least a few years. All the edges are rusty and it's crunchy and gross and ugly looking. And immediately I'm thinking in my head, like, we're not going to be able to resell this. This is a piece of crap. But anyway, I crouch down, I look at it, and I try spinning the dial, and it's nice and stiff. It spins, but not nice. And the keyhole beside the dial, there's a broken off key inside of it. And I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, this is that kind of safe that you need to dial in the right code. There's a click, and then you can use the key, and then the key opens it. So there's no way I'm opening the safe no matter what. But anyway, out of curiosity, I drove all this way, play with the dial and try and see if it works, and the code that I used did not work. So I was like, well, I call my manager. I'm like, hey, I'm here, I'm looking at this thing, it's a piece of crap. And before I could even finish, she's like, walk away. It's not worth it. If you think it's crap, just walk away. Alrighty. I do the walk of shame back to the end of the driveway where this guy is still sitting here waiting in the snow. And I walk up to him, I'm like, hey, so we're not gonna be able to buy this. Like, this, it's not gonna be worth reselling on our end. I'm sorry. And he's like, oh, you can't give me anything for it? Like, no, sorry. I didn't even want to tell him how much I was originally planning on offering him if it was in good condition. I was just like, no, I can't. And it's kind of this awkward silence, and he's like, well, would you just take it? No, I don't want a 100-pound box. Like, just thanks. He's like, well, you could tell he's like frustrated and angry. Like, and I can kind of understand if you were waiting for me. Like, I called and I left a message and I said, call me back, let me know. He didn't see it apparently, so I guess that's my bad. But he's frustrated, and I'm like getting ready to kind of walk away, and I'm like, well, I'm sorry, but have a nice rest of your day. And he's like, well, could you at least drive me to Freshco? What? I say, no, sir, I can't do that. This is a work vehicle. Thinking of an excuse. And he's like, you drive past it on the way back to your shop. I know where your shop is. And I say, but I'm not supposed to drive strangers in the work vehicle. It's not what it's for. And he looks at me, and you can tell he's getting more and more angry and sour with me by the moment. And he's like, fine. Like, I did something crazy. He's like, fine then. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I really can't. And then I was like, I'm actually heading home too from here. It's 5 o'clock. I'm not even going by that way. I'm heading a different way home. And he's like, whatever. Sorry, sir. Have a nice day. I apologize. And I get into my vehicle and I can hear him like mumbling to himself, and he's getting more and more angry, and he's shaking and clenching his fists. As I get in my car and I turn it on and I'm pulling out of the driveway, I'm kind of looking at him through the windshield as I swing it around in reverse, put it into drive, and I turn to go drive by him. For the sake of PG-13 rating, he'd said something along the lines of, fudge you mother shipper, and hit me with a sign where you take both hands up in the air and you erectify one of your fingers. And as he did that and shook his hands at me and shook with rage. I don't know if any of you can read lips, but it's rather obvious what he said, and I interpreted it well through my windshield, and I just gave him one of these. No need to get so feisty with me, stranger. I mean, let's sympathize with the fellow. Let's assume he was waiting outside. I would hope that that's his home. I don't know why he would wait outside on the curb the whole time. He has a phone. He called me. I could have called him when I got there, but anyway, he has mobility issues. I don't know the whole situation. So you're mad at me because of that. Fair enough. You're trying to sell me a piece of rusty crap. Okay? You knew it. I knew it the second I looked at it. So, sorry I can't give you any money. There was no guarantee of a deal going down. I'm just a stranger. So, all of this happens. You're frustrated, I understand. And you ask me if I can drive you to Freshco? Sir, no, you're a strange man. It's, I try to be rather charitable. Oh, I forgot. He said this one-liner as I was walking away. He's like, don't expect charity from strangers, as I'm like getting in my van or something like that. I'm like, are you trying to say that I didn't elicit charity onto you? Charity isn't something that you like. I guess you can ask for help from someone, but you're not entitled to someone's charity just because you asked. Am I crazy for that? I'm not mad that he asked, even though it's kind of a crazy thing to ask a guy working. Like, I'm in a work van. It's not like I showed up from Kijiji or Facebook Marketplace. I'm not a friendly neighbor. I'm a guy in a job. It's kind of and I'm not a cop. Like, I'm not a civil servant. I'm a locksmith. It's just it kind of took me off, and I had my reasons to say no, albeit I could have done it, but I didn't want to, and I was going home, not that way, not towards Freshco, and I don't know who you are, and you're mad at me because I didn't buy your safe. You kind of smell. I don't want you in my work vehicle, so I'm sorry. But after all of that, you can be frustrated, for sure. You're entitled to your frustration. But you did not have to hit me with the double finger, F you, mother trucker. That was not necessary, sir. That's not making anything better. So, I'm sorry. And if he sees this video, I apologize. You're just gonna have to live with that crappy safe on the side of your property forever. And you're not getting 20 bucks from me, sir. And I hope you found your way to Freshco. And it makes me think the way that he asked, like that was his real motivation to have me come there at that time. That's why he insisted I come at 5. I don't know if he had an arrangement at Freshco at 5 o'clock. Who knows? But he said he was a busy man. Didn't seem very busy sitting on the curb. And the way he was sitting there and the amount of snow that had accumulated onto his body by the time I arrived makes me think he had been there since 4. Not the actions of a busy man. And a busy man would be attentive to his phone if he has business calls arranged upon it. Would he not? I'm thinking way too deep into this. My point being, what a crazy proposition to throw to me. Drive me to Freshco. No, thank you, sir. Find your own damn way to Freshco. Call a cab. Call an Uber. I guess it would cost you like $20 and you're not getting it from me. I don't know. It was just very interesting. And this is not something that I told in the original video because it happened so freshly when I told this story the first time. He called me that night at 12. Let's pull it up. I got it right here. Wow. Sorry. 12:06. He tried to call me twice. Are you crazy? Were you mad and you wanted to reiterate that? Or did you a butt dial twice? Nonsense. But I didn't answer because my phone was on silent, my work phone. I don't know. It's just very interesting, the situations I find myself in. And with all of the faith in my body, I hope this video turned out, because the last one didn't, and it was pretty good. I felt pretty good about it. I feel pretty good about this one, but it was fresh in my mind, and there was so much excitement in my voice when I said it the first time. So it's a shame that I have to reiterate it in this way. But anyway, ciao, ciao.